My name is Debbie Cox Bultan. I am the CEO of NewDEAL, and it is my absolute pleasure and honor to welcome you to this year's annual Leaders Conference. Yay! I really cannot tell you how much I've been looking forward to this one this year. It's hard right now. It is really harder than any time in my 30 years in politics. There's so much happening. The pace of change, economic uncertainty, division at home, wars and human suffering abroad. All of this is really leaving people scared and vulnerable. And now we've got extremist forces, which have literally taken over one of our major political parties, stoking those fears, escalating the politics of cynicism, politics of division and chaos, and attacking our very democracy. And at the same time, the challenges we face as a nation, they're not going away. The impacts of climate change, new technology, a persistent opportunity gap that continues to leave too many Americans behind, and so much more need our serious and urgent attention. So at times I know that I can feel overwhelmed and alone. But as I look around this room, and I want you to look around this room, we are not alone, and nor are we powerless. So that is why I'm excited to be here with you today and for the next 2 days. Because every time that I'm with you, I am so inspired by the work that you're doing on the front lines. I'm so moved by your commitment and your sacrifice and your tenacity. And honestly, my confidence is restored that our brand, what we believe in, our pragmatic, results-oriented politics that delivers for the American people, will ultimately win the day. I've recently been reflecting on how much politics has changed over my 30 years doing this. And through all the ups and downs, I feel like there have been two beliefs that have been constant for me, that have been my North Stars, that I'm still hold true going forward. The first is that ideas matter. Ideas matter. At the end of the day, politics is really a battle of ideas. With the electorate roughly split 1/3 between Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, at least at the presidential level, the math is pretty straightforward. Whoever wins the majority of the center wins. That means we need to put forth ideas grounded in the values that we share as Democrats, but also the values we share as Americans that have broad appeal. With extremism on the rise on the right, it's critical that we remind voters that Democrats are the defenders of freedom. Freedom to choose, to make deeply personal decisions without the interference of government, but also the freedom to live the American dream, to participate in our democracy, as well as to feel safe and secure and welcome in every corner of our country. Americans will always vote for something, not against something. So with so much at stake, Democrats, we have to put forth a common sense agenda with broad appeal. We've actually successfully done that the last 2 elections, standing so firmly for freedom and democracy. Midterms last November, many of you helped flip legislative chambers, and New Dealers and others held on to secretaries or won Secretary of State races in key battleground states. And then we saw it again last Tuesday in Kentucky, in Virginia, and in Ohio. So we have to keep at it. So that is today why we're super excited that NewDEAL and our partners in Congress, the New Democrat Coalition, are releasing a freedom agenda that outlines what we stand for: creating opportunity, strengthening community, and protecting democracy. This agenda reflects the values that most Americans share and is grounded in the pragmatic, results-oriented approach to governing that we share as New Dealers and New Dems. Additionally, I've learned over the years that the best ideas often do not come from Washington. They come from the innovation and experimentation that happens at the state and local levels. And I know that to still be true because you all submitted 80 great ideas to our 2023 Ideas Challenge. Ideas that expand opportunity and promote equity, that lower costs for working families, and strengthen our community and our democracy. So we'll be hearing about many of those ideas throughout the conference, including from the winners, ideas that you can take home to your communities. Ideas matter. Second thing I know to be true is that leadership matters. Leadership matters. I learned this early, but I see it every day working with all of you. I feel like in today's political climate, things like volume and belligerence and outmaneuvering and social media followers somehow become the stand-in for leadership. but I know that not to be true. In fact, it's the exact opposite kind of leadership we need right now in this country. The kind of leadership we need to move America forward is the kind of leadership that all of you practice every day. We need leaders who promote hope over fear, put people over politics. We need leaders who talk about the world as it is and is going to be and not as it was. We live in a time of tremendous, kind of almost unimaginable change. A leader's job is to help prepare people for that change, not to deny it's happening or tell people they can protect them from it, or even worse, tell them we can go back. We need leaders to tell the truth, even when it's hard. Just take two big issues we'll be talking about today and tomorrow, climate change and AI. We don't need bombastic leaders denying science, making empty promises, or legislating from fear. We need leaders who are asking thoughtful questions, questions that seek to prepare people for the change, put guardrails up as needed, but also look for new opportunities that come with change, like transitioning to a green energy economy or harnessing AI to make government work better. We also need leaders who get stuff done. You get stuff done. Compromise is not a dirty word. When I was starting out, I feel like Democrats and Republicans routinely came together to get hard things done for the American people. But you contrast that now, of course, with the House GOP, where speakers are literally being punished for working across the aisle. It's been excruciating to watch and an anathema how government is supposed to work. Finding common ground and compromise is necessary for a functioning democracy. Relatedly, we need leaders who want to make government work, not tear it down or declare it to be the enemy. The deliberate, decades-long attack on government has become pervasive public sentiment, which is allowing the lower participation in voting, crisis of democracy. As a proud and passionate centrist, I don't think government can solve all problems, but government plays a really important role in public investment, providing a social safety net for our most vulnerable, and helping create the conditions where every single business and family and individual can thrive. To help restore faith in government, we as Democrats who believe government has a role to play have to have a special responsibility to make it work well. That means we've got to measure what's working, what's not working, and we've got to be willing to reform, even to programs that we championed. Equally as importantly, we have to tout success. The Biden-Harris administration and congressional Democrats have made historic investments in this country over the last 2 years. And you all at the state and local level have taken those funds and are making real impact in people's lives. We've got to be relentless in telling those stories. And finally, we need leaders who can bring people together. Excuse me. Good leaders understand that people who don't agree with them are not the enemy. The vile rhetoric used by President Trump this week should make every single one of us stop and double down in the opposite direction. We've got to work overtime to find common ground and to treat each other with respect, even people who didn't vote for us. I reject the idea that the country can't be healed, and I'm very excited that we're going to end Friday with a program with David McCullough III and Adar Cohen to learn from them what they're doing to bring people together, young people together across the country and across divisions. Leadership matters. These are tough times, but we all love this country, and we're going to fight for American ideals and American values. We're committed to promoting common sense, ideas that solve problems, protect freedoms, and lift people up. And we're committed to supporting you, the elected officials, who are on the front lines of this battle every day, as well as the whole New Deal community, people who are seeking to move our country forward with decency and compassion and results. For New Deal, ideas plus leaders equals the future. So I could not be prouder of this community. I could not be more excited to kick off our conference and spend the next 2 days with you. Thank you for everything you do every day.